Hey everyone, it's Anthony from Pretty Printer here. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to read CSV files in Python. So CSV files are simply comma-separated files. You've probably seen them before. I have an example right here where there's a header row at the beginning, and then it is followed by a bunch of data rows. And using the CSV module in Python, I'll be able to read these. So to start, I will import CSV. And then I'm going to open up this real estate CSV file that I have. So with open real estate.csv, and I'll open this as file. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass that file to the CSV Reader. So CSV Reader and pass in the file. So CSV Reader obviously comes from the CSV module, and I'll create a variable and I'll simply call it reader here. And what this creates is a reader object that I can iterate over to get every single row. So to demonstrate, first I'll create a variable so I don't have to see all the rows because there are quite a few. I'll say for row in reader, print row. And then also if count is greater than, let's say 5, then I'll break out of the loop. And then if it isn't, then I'll increment the count by 1. All right, so if I run this, we see the first column, which is the header column. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional columns. And that's because of the way I wrote the code. So it starts at 0, and then it increments after printing. So it gives me 6 additional ones there. So I get 7 rows. But you can see the data here pretty clearly. And if I wanted to display, let's say, the 4th column in each row. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the state for each one. They're all California. So let's try something a little more interesting because they're all the same state. Let's try beds. So the 5th column. So the column at the 4th index. So row of 4 should give me the number of bedrooms. So I'll run that again. And then I see beds and then 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. So in that way, it's very easy to read the data inside of a CSV file if it's formatted regularly. In this case, it is. That is, everything is separated by commas. If things were separated by something like spaces, then you'd have to specify the delimiter like this. So delimiter, and then you add in a space. So I'll create a simple CSV file. I'll call it spaces.csv. And instead of using commas to separate out the columns, so I'll name this call 1, call 2, and call 3. Instead of using commas, I'll use spaces. And then I'll just put some values in the rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now if I change the file to spaces and then I leave the delimiter and remove the index because it only has 3 columns, I want to see everything in each row. I see the header and then followed by the numbers below. If I don't use that delimiter, what happens is this. It is expecting commas, so it just places everything into one column because it thinks there's only one column. So keep that in mind if you don't want, or if you're not using a CSV file that has commas that separate the values. So another way of accessing the values is, instead of using reader, first let me change this back to real estate. Instead of using reader, what I'll do is I'll use Dict Reader. So DICT Reader. And this will convert each row into a dictionary. And it's going to use the header column as a way to create keys for each one of the rows. So this will make sense once I show you. So Python script. Now you can see each row is a dictionary. So zip and then an actual zip code, beds, and then 2, state, California, cell date there. So if I wanted to print, say, the zip, I can just add the key zip there, run this again, and I see zip codes. If I wanted, let's see, price, I can use the key price. And let me clear this. And then I can see the various prices for the houses that were sold. So Dict Reader is a way to map everything a little easier. It makes things more clear, but this only works if you have a header column, and Python is doing the conversion automatically. So if your CSV file isn't well formed, then this won't work. Then you may want to use the regular reader. But if it is, then you can get away with using the Dict Reader. It's up to you. So that's all I want to show you in this video, how to read CSV files, because they're pretty common. And chances are you'll probably write an app one day that has to read them. So this is a good video to help you out if you need to read any CSV files. So if you have any questions about this video, you can leave them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.